Let's begin the second half with the latest updates in Syria and Turkey, where a 7.8 magnitude earthquake has sent thousands of lives to their early graves. Today makes it exactly 7 days after the unfortunate incident that left the world in complete shock. The death toll has continued to rise, with the latest figure of casualties put at over 36,000. Now, sadly, hopes of finding people alive is dimming as the clock ticks on, with the experts fearing the toll could rise sharply. Turkish authorities say some 13.5 million people have been affected. We have more details in this report.
With the search for survivors still on, rescue teams have accelerated their efforts to pull out dead bodies believed to have remained under the rubble in large numbers a week after twin earthquakes struck Turkey and neighboring Syria, killing more than 34,000 and displacing millions more. Turkey has declared 3 months of state of emergency in the wake of the deadly and destructive earthquake. Turkey's Disaster Management Agency says more than 110,000 rescue personnel will be taking part in efforts with assistance of more than 5,500 vehicles, including tractors, cranes, bulldozers, and excavators. The Foreign Ministry says 95 countries have offered to help. Remote villages in southeast Turkish province of Malatya are struggling to recover due to damaged roads, frigid weather following devastating earthquakes last week. Malatya is one of the 10 provinces severely damaged by the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria, with hundreds of buildings collapsed and rescue efforts focused on the city center, but many surrounding villages are still impacted as well. Dursun Torun, a father of 5 who lives in the province Katangolu village, managed to save his family, but not his flock of sheep.
When the earthquake first struck, we got up right away. I went to the children's room. I grabbed the kids and brought them outside. My daughter was startled and rushed to another room. While I was about to leave with my daughter and my wife, the frame of the door was cracking. As soon as we stepped outside, the house had collapsed.
In Katangolu village, dozens of houses were destroyed and the rest are too damaged to enter. Many families say they still haven't received thanks and are in desperate need of shelter even 6 days after the earthquakes. Another earthquake survivor, Izzet Indoran, speaks.
We could have died too, but we survived. So we might as well not die now. In this snow, it is cold, minus 10, minus 15 degrees. Not one of us has tent. I'm keeping them waiting in my car.
Desperate for a place to sleep, some individuals have been risking their safety by entering damaged buildings to retrieve their belongings, including mattresses. The Turkish government has promised that tents would soon be delivered to the Katangolu village and is scrambling to build tents and containers in cities across the 10 provinces. In Syria, humanitarian organizations have said the earthquake has added another layer to the suffering of the population in northwestern Syria, where more than 4.1 million people require assistance. Many survivors have to use parks and other public places as temporary resettlement sites in Aleppo, one of the worst hit cities in Syria, due to insufficient supply of emergency shelters provided by the government after the devastating earthquakes. An urban park became a temporary shelter in Aleppo, and the seats that were once prepared for tourists are now temporary homes for survivors in the park. These survivors recalled the earthquake horrors and asked for help to rebuild their homes. Mer, a displaced man, shares his experience.
The last few days have been very difficult for all Syrians. Economic activity is stagnant. The house is damaged. These people in the park have no homes or jobs. We were in a much worse situation before. Now, some relief goods have arrived, but there are still no shelters.
The United Nations said recently that the earthquakes in Syria displaced 5.3 million people. Meanwhile, the Syrian Arab Red Crescent has been leveraging all the resources donated by the international community for disaster relief work after the country was rocked by devastating earthquakes on February 6. The organization serves as the first stop for humanitarian aid reaching Syria and there are about 90 workers helping at the headquarters in Damascus, with many more contributing themselves at branches in quake-hit areas such as Aleppo and Latakia. Director of the SACS Logistics Department, Abdulaziz Al-Hara, speaks.
The aid from the airport with the trucks, loading them, then move to the warehouses. The team at the warehouses, logistics team also, they do the inventory, the quality check of these items, see the quantities that we are getting, okay, then.
At the same time, the Red Cross Society of China has sent rescue forces and 2 batches of humanitarian supplies to Syria, including tents, thermal clothing, and medicine. The official expressed his gratitude for China's continued help, including its generous assistance during the COVID-19 pandemic.
In the COVID-19, we received a lot of support also, some ventilators, some sanitizing actually items and masks and gloves and so on. So this is not the first time that China is supporting Syria. Big thanks to you and big thanks to the Chinese Red Cross also.
Syria's health minister, Hassan al-Gabash, has called on the United Nations, the international community of the Red Cross, and other international organizations to provide assistance to Syria to deal with the